hope you all are doing good. My name is Ashima and I'm back again with another video on an interesting topic, right? So, in the previous class, I talked about what is an intention, how is it different from motive. I also talked about what exactly is a crime, crime क्या होता है, क्राइम को कॉन्स्टिट्यूट करने के लिए कौन कौन से ऐसे एलिमेंट्स हैं जो नेसेसरी हैं, राइट? वी डिस्कस्ड इन डिटेल अ फ्यू क्वेश्चंस एंड आई also asked you people to answer a question which some of you might have answered and some of you have not really answered, right? For all those students जिन्होंने अभी तक वीडियो नहीं देखी है पुरानी, go back to the previous videos, right? Just see those videos and just brush up your concepts, right? वो concepts आपको clear हो जाएंगे, then come up to this video, right? So, talking about law of crimes, I already told you guys कि crime को constitute करने के लिए कुछ elements होते हैं जो होने ज़रूरी हैं, जिनको I personally call them ingredients, right? So, उन ingredients का होना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है and even today we will be learning about all those ingredients which help in constituting crimes of a nature which damage property of a person, right? तो crimes against property क्या है? Which damage property or which cause damage to the property, right? That is why they are crimes against property of an individual, right? चलो, let's just start. So here, as I've already introduced the topic is offenses against property, right? Offenses against property. And all those related concepts which we are going to study in today's class, right? So let's just start. First thing first, according to you, what is property? What is property and why harm to a property is considered an offense? Do you have any answer to that? Why is a harm to somebody's property considered as an offense? That is the question. If you know the answer to the question, please comment down in the comment section, right? I'll be there to check your answers, right? Apart from this, okay, what is property? I am wearing a wristwatch. Is this a property? Right? I am holding a pen in my hand. Is this a property? Right? This screen, is this property? Yes, it is all property, right? Now, let's just see what all are the offenses against property. Now, here we have crimes against property. The first crime that we'll be talking about is theft. Now, what is theft? What all constitutes theft? This is what we are going to talk about in today's class, right? Now, what is theft? Now, IPC section 378 and BNS, that is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita section 303 talk about theft, right? Now we will be understanding in detail what is theft, right? Now, dishonestly taking someone's movable property without consent, right? In one single line they have described theft. Now, dishonestly is the first word. Dishonestly means that there is mens rea, right? There is knowledge, right? So there is mens rea. Secondly, taking someone's movable property. So the property should belong to someone, right? Movable property. What is a movable property and what is an immovable property? We'll be discussing in detail, right? Then, without consent. What is consent, right? All these things we will be discussing now, right? So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 elements, right? So these are the essentials here. First is movable property, second is dishonest intention, next no consent, and last one is moving out of possession. Right? Let's just start from the last one. Moves out of possession. What do we mean by moves out of possession? Now I'll give you an example here. See, this is A, right? This is B. B is the brother of A, right? B is the brother of A, right? So one fine day, B, he asks A that okay, today you're not going to school, today you give me your bicycle to ride, right? And I'll ride your bicycle to the school. So A simply hands over the keys of the bicycle to B, right? A ने अपनी bicycle B को चलाने को दी to go to the school. Now here A has consented to give her bicycle to B, right? School जाने के लिए. B बहुत खुश था, school चला गया. When he went to the school, C, who was a classmate of B, saw that B तो आज नई साइकिल पे आया है. He got very interested and what he did was, इसने इसकी साइकिल की जो कीज है इससे बिना पूछे खुद ले ली. Now the keys were kept on the table. He simply moved the keys from the table and he took it along with him to the playground. Right? कि मैं B की साइकिल चलाऊंगा. His intention was मैं B की साइकिल चलाऊंगा. उसने उसकी साइकिल की कीज ली and he went away to the playground to play. Right? Now, moves out of possession. Here the important word for you is possession. So here you need to understand the difference between possession and ownership. Possession versus ownership. This is the concept which you will understand from this case. Here, who was the owner of the bicycle? A was the owner of the bicycle, right? A was the owner of the bicycle. So I have highlighted A as the owner, right? A is the owner of the bicycle, right? Who was in possession of the bicycle? B was in possession of the bicycle, right? तो ये आपको clear हुआ that A was the owner and B was just in possession of the bicycle, right? Possession का मतलब होता है कि उस टाइम पे वो चीज किसके पास थी. तो यहाँ पे B के पास थी. Who had taken the keys of the bicycle from A and has rode his bicycle to the school, right? तो वो तो पूछ के लेके आया था साइकिल. अब जब moves out of possession की बात कर रहे हैं तो किसकी possession की बात कर रहे हैं? Of the possessor. तो अब आपको एक चीज समझ आनी चाहिए that A is nowhere in, A has no role here, right? A has no role here to play, right? आपको किसकी possession देखनी है? B की possession देखनी है और ये देखना है क्या C वो जो प्रॉपर्टी है B की नजरों के सामने से कहीं लेके गया या B की पोजेशन से कहीं लेके गया. नॉट नजरों के सामने से बट पोजेशन से कहीं लेके गया. हाँ, यहाँ पे लेके गया है. तो क्वेश्चन दैट हैज C moved the property out of the possession of B? Yes, C has moved the property out of the possession of B. I hope this is clear. A ने अपनी साइकिल B को दी बिकॉज B ने मांगी थी A से. B ले गया स्कूल उस साइकिल को, राइट? तो साइकिल की जो कीज थी B से बिना पूछे C अपने साथ प्लेग्राउंड में ले गया. सो हियर हैज ही मूव्ड द प्रॉपर्टी आउट ऑफ द पोजेशन ऑफ द possessor? Yes, he had, right? ये क्वेश्चन क्लियर हुआ. This is what you had to understand and this is a clear example. If you haven't understood, go back to the example and if you still have any doubts, please comment down in the comment section. Right now, I hope this is clear to you. Now moving ahead to the next point, which is movable property. What do we mean by movable property? Which kind of property is movable and which kind of property is immovable? We'll try and understand that too. Right? Ab movable property versus immovable property. Right? Movable property कौन सी होती है? Any property. What is the definition of a movable property? Any property which is not attached to the earth. Right? For example, a house. It's not a, it's an immovable property, right? Right? Then next thing, what is a movable property? I'll give you an example here. Example of a movable property can be a scooter, a car, right? Any XYZ thing that you wear, any accessory, right? Now the question here comes, ma'am, whether trees are movable or not. Chalo, how many of you will tell me that whether trees are movable or not? So here, let's just consider timber is movable or not. इसका एक simple सा आंसर है, as I've already told you guys. Till the time the tree is not severed and till the time it is not cut, it is still an immovable property. And as soon as it is severed or cut from the roots or from the branches or whatsoever, it becomes a movable property. Got it? Is this clear? Now, I have a few questions here to ask you all, which you guys need to understand. Right? Chalo. So for all those who would want to note all of this down, you can note it down. Right? I'll just wait for 1 minute or so. I hope movable property and immovable property is clear to each one of you. Okay. Okay, now we'll move ahead and we'll discuss a question here, right? Now, let's say this is a house. Let's say this is a house, right? And in the backyard of this house, this is a huge backyard wherein there is a tree, right? On this tree there are such delicious fruits hanging, right? Let's say this is a mango tree and here we have mangoes hanging from the tree. Now, a man who was walking by the backyard of the house or on the road at the backside of the backyard saw that this tree has such ripe mangoes hanging onto it, right? कि बहुत सारे mangoes लटके हुए इस पेड़ पे. So he just decides that he will jump off the wall and he'll go inside the backyard and backyard में जाके ये आम तोड़ के लेके आएगा, right? So now what he does is that he jumps inside, right? आम तोड़ता है, आम तोड़ के जैसे ही वापस आने लगता है, the security guard watches this man doing so. So has the man committed theft here? And are the mangoes that he severed from the tree or that he has that he has taken from the tree, are these movable property or not? This is the question for you guys. जो मैंगोज तोड़े हैं पेड़ से, क्या वो movable property है या नहीं है? Yes, of course, they are movable property, and hence the person will be charged for theft. Is this clear? So आपको यहाँ पे ये रूल याद रखना है हमेशा. I hope everything is clear to everyone. Now, moving ahead to the next point, which is dishonest intention. Dishonest intention means mens rea, right? Mens rea. Now, let's say these are two friends. A and B are friends, right? A has bought a new dress. Now, one thing you need to remember, that a dress is a movable property, right? A has brought a new dress for her birthday, and as she was out of the room, due to a candle, there was a fire in the room, right? एकदम से कैंडल की वजह से आग लग गई रूम में. Now, B, seeing that A is not there in the room and that her new dress is kept on the bed, she simply takes her new dress in order to save the new dress from getting burnt. ठीक है, A की न्यू ड्रेस को बचाने के लिए वो न्यू ड्रेस उठाती है और रूम से बाहर ले जाती है. Right? So here, does B have any wrong intentions? According to me, saving her friend's dress were not wrong intentions. No wrong intentions, right? There were no wrong intentions, hence dishonest intention यहाँ पे नहीं होता. And we know that in order to constitute an offense of theft, all these essentials are required, right? तो यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा? That here we will say that B has not committed any offense. Right? Why? Because she had no dishonest intentions. Right? Let's just take the same scenario. Now, the new dress is lying on the bed, right? And in order to try the new dress, as B liked the dress quite a lot, B को बहुत अच्छी लगी एक ही new dress, उसे बहुत अच्छी लगी, उसने चाहा कि काश मैं ये ड्रेस खुद ट्राई करके देखूं एक बारी. So बिना A से पूछे, she simply took the new dress and started trying it, and A got to know about it. So has B committed any theft here? Yes, she has. Why? Because she had dishonest intentions. Second, she moved the property, right, without the consent, and that too out of the possession of A, right? Is this clear? Is this clear to everyone? So all you have to do is, see, in the entire paper you need to remember that you need to focus quite a lot on the essentials of crime, right? On the essentials of the offenses. So I hope all these essentials are clear to you. Now you know what do we mean by movable and immovable property. We know that what is consent, right? We know what is moving out of the possession. We know what are dishonest intentions. Now we'll be coming to consent. No consent. So without the permission of someone, you cannot move their property, right? If you have taken the permission, then it is fine. But if you haven't, then it's not fine, right? Now here you need to understand that any consent obtained out of fraud or coercion is not a valid consent. अगर आप किसी को डरा धमका के, किसी को झूठ बोल के उससे consent ले रहे हो, वो वैलिड कंसेंट नहीं होता कभी भी, राइट? सो यू नीड टू रिमेंबर कि जहाँ पे आप डरा धमका के या किसी को झूठ बोल के कंसेंट लेते हो वो वैलिड कंसेंट नहीं है, और अगर ऐसे कंसेंट लेने के बाद आप किसी की प्रॉपर्टी को उसकी पोजेशन से दूर लेके जाते हो so here what happens is that you have committed theft. I hope theft is quite clear to you guys. If it is not, please comment down in the comment section below and I'll definitely reach out to you guys, right? Now we'll move ahead and we will discuss another case law of theft, right? Okay. Alright, so let's just discuss what is the punishment for theft. So as per IPC, up to 3 years plus fine is the punishment for theft. And here are a few examples: pocket picking, stealing, parked cycle, whatsoever it is, right? It is theft. अब pocket picking कैसे theft है? राइट अगर आपकी कोई पॉकेट में से आपकी कंसेंट के बिना आपका वॉलेट, आपके पैसे या वट एवर योर बिलोंगिंग्स आर देयर इन योर पॉकेट वो निकालता है, तो पहले तो आपका कंसेंट नहीं है, दूसरा मूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी है, तीसरा आपका डिसऑनेस्ट इंटेंशन है बिकॉज आप उससे कुछ ना कुछ तो करोगे, राइट? एंड लास्टली इट इज मूविंग आउट ऑफ योर पोजेशन, हेंस इट बिकम्स थेफ्ट, राइट? आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन. Now we'll move ahead to another offense that is robbery. अच्छा, now what is robbery? Theft, robbery, dacoity, ये ना usually हम बहुत interchangeably use कर लेते हैं, but we need to understand the difference between these three offenses quite clearly, right? Now we'll be discussing what is robbery, right? So let's just begin. So according to section 390 of IPC and 309 of BNS, you can remember it like this, that it is 390 of the old law and as per the new law it is 309, right? Of BNS we have understood that what is robbery. So it is aggravated form of theft or extortion, राइट? थेफ्ट क्या होता है, एक्सटॉर्शन क्या होता है, राइट? सो थेफ्ट तो हमें पता है क्या होता है, एक्सटॉर्शन क्या होता है ये हम समझेंगे, राइट? नाउ अगर थेफ्ट या एक्सटॉर्शन के दौरान या फिर while committing these two acts, one involves either in hurting or causing fear of instant hurt or death, or voluntarily causes wrongful restraint to a person, he or she is said to have committed robbery, right? यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल इन्होंने दिया हुआ है, snatching a purse using force. snatching a purse में तो ये भी हो सकता है कि मैम ये तो theft है, राइट? मूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी है, किसी की पोजेशन से आप प्रॉपर्टी लेके जा रहे हो, राइट? विदाउट द कंसेंट ऑफ द पर्सन विद डिसऑनेस्ट इंटेंशन, मैम ये तो थेफ्ट हो गया यहाँ पे, नहीं, दैट विल बी रॉबरी. वाई? बिकॉज आपने फोर्स यूज करा है वहाँ पे, राइट? और उस फोर्स की वजह से आपने किसी को हर्ट किया है या आपने फियर, दैट इज डर डाला है किसी में ऑफ इंस्टेंट हर्ट और डेथ. इज दैट क्लियर? इज दिस क्लियर टू एवरीवन? Now, I have a question here. Let's say this is A, right? A was sleeping, right, at around 1 or 2 p.m., 1 p.m. in his house, right? यहाँ पे A, B दोनों इसके घर आते हैं, right? इसके घर enter होते हैं, wherein A is sleeping, and जैसे ये लोग enter हुए ना, A उठ जाता है, right? Once A wakes up, he tries to find out who has entered his house, right? B and C have entered his house. Now A finds out that B and C have entered his house, and as soon as B and C realize that they have been seen by A, they catch hold of A and they restrain him. यानी कि जैसे ही बी और सी को पता चलता है कि ए ने उन्हें पकड़ लिया है, ये लोग ए को बांध देते हैं, एक रूम के अंदर बंद कर देते हैं, राइट? और ये ए को कह देते हैं दैट यू विल नॉट गो आउट ऑफ योर रूम, राइट? अब इसके बाद दे सिंपली गो, ए को एक जगह पे रख के दे सिंपली गो, राइट? एंड दे टेक द money and cash and all the jewelry from the safe and they come out of the house. So what have B and C done there? They have committed robbery. Why? Because they have caused wrongful restraint to A. Wrongful restraint का मतलब उसे एक ऐसे डायरेक्शन में जाने से रोका wherein he had the right to go, right? A के पास डायरेक्शन था, वो घर के बाहर जा सकता था, बट उन्होंने उसे नहीं जाने दिया, एंड हेंस दिस इज रॉबरी हियर, राइट? आई जस्ट वॉन्ट यू गाइज टू गो थ्रू द एसेंशियल्स वंस, जस्ट गो थ्रू द एसेंशियल्स. ओके, आई होप यू ऑल हैव रेड दिस. नाउ मैम यहाँ पे एक और वर्ड लिखा हुआ है जो कि है एक्सटॉर्शन, पर हमने तो एक्सटॉर्शन अभी तक पढ़ा नहीं. हाउ विल वी गेट टू नो व्हाट इज एक्सटॉर्शन? लेट मी जस्ट एक्सप्लेन यू व्हाट इज एक्सटॉर्शन. एक्सटॉर्शन क्या होता है? इट इज एन ऑफेंस अंडर right? Section 383 of IPC, we talk about extortion. What is extortion? Okay, this is extortion. Now there is a fear of injury, and injury किस तरह की? To reputation, body or property of a person, right? Then there is a word inducement, right? इसका I'll give you an example and you'll remember it, right? And then we have delivery of property, right? Now this is A, he is a shopkeeper. A एक शॉपकीपर है, ये अपनी शॉप में आराम से बैठा हुआ था. When he saw B, who is a local goon, goon is गुंडा, right? वो आया, right? He is a local goon. He comes to him and he asks A कि जो सब कुछ आपके पास पड़ा है in the shop, I want all of it, right? To which A, who is the shopkeeper, he resisted, right? B ने कहा आपकी शॉप में जो सब कुछ पड़ा है आप वो मुझे दे दो, जिस पे A ने B को रेजिस्ट किया. रेजिस्ट मतलब उसने मना कर दिया, मुझे नहीं देना कुछ भी आपको. Now B tells A that he knows where his kids are studying, and if A does not give him everything in the shop, he will kidnap his children. ये B ने A को थ्रेट दिया, राइट? अब थ्रेट हो गया यहाँ पे. तो यहाँ पे पहला जो हमारा पॉइंट है दैट इज फियर ऑफ इंजरी. फियर ऑफ इंजरी टू whom? To the body, right, of the kids, right? So यहाँ पे आपको एक चीज समझ आनी चाहिए, ये जो fear of injury है ये जरूरी नहीं है that it is directly given to the party, right? It can be given to any person who is related to the party, right? Clear हो गया ये? Now पहला पॉइंट fear of injury हो गया. दूसरा inducement to deliver the property. So here he has induced A to deliver him all the stuff within the shop by saying that he will kidnap his children, right? तो inducement का मतलब क्या होता है? किसी को इतना ज़्यादा फोर्स कर देना, फोर्स इन द सेंस किसी को इतना ज़्यादा तंग कर देना कि वो काम करे जो अदरवाइज वो कभी ना करता, राइट? सो इंड्यूसमेंट होगी यहाँ पे टू डिलीवर द प्रॉपर्टी. एंड लास्टली शॉपकीपर ने क्या, ठीक है, आई विल डिलीवर यू ऑल द गुड्स, राइट? वो चुपचाप गया शॉप में, सारा सामान इकट्ठा करके उसको दे दिया टू सेव हिज किड्स, राइट? सो व्हाट हैपेंस हियर? हियर ही हैड डिलीवर्ड द प्रॉपर्टी, राइट? तो डिलीवरी हो गई. जब ये सब कुछ हुआ, what has B done here? Which offense has he committed? This offense is known as extortion, right? Extortion is clear to everyone? I hope it is clear. Now another example. Let's just see another example of extortion. This is A and this is B. A is in a relationship with B since past 6 years, right? She is in a relationship with this boy named B since past 6 years. B has clicked many photographs of A, inappropriate photographs of A, right? And B starts telling A that if you don't pay me a sum of 10 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees, I will leak these photographs on the internet, right? I leak all the pictures on the internet, right? Now, what is the kind of fear that is involved here? Of reputation. Fear of reputation is involved here. So first thing first, fear of injury to the reputation is involved. It is there. Second point, inducement to deliver property. Property here is 10 lakh rupees, right? Property here is those 10 lakh rupees which are demanded. So this is the property, right? Now A, being a very simple and a timid girl, she simply delivers 10 lakh rupees to B. So what has B committed here? It is extortion. Why? Because there is a delivery of 10 lakh rupees, right? Now imagine that A यहाँ पे deliver ही ना करती property, that is 10 lakh rupees देती ही ना, तो क्या यहाँ पे extortion होता? No, extortion has not been committed. Got it? Delivery of property is necessary here. I hope it is clear to everyone. I hope this is clear to everyone. If you have any doubts, please write down in the comment section. I will reach out to you guys, right? Now, let's just move on to the next offense, which is dacoity. Now, abhi tak how many of you already know that what is theft, what is robbery? Most of you who have watched the video till here, they might be knowing the difference between robbery and theft. Now we need to understand the difference between dacoity, right? Now we need to understand the difference between theft, robbery and dacoity. Theft and robbery we've already covered. Also we have covered extortion till here. If you haven't watched, please rewind the video and please watch the video, right? Now let's just start with dacoity. So IPC section 391, it talks about dacoity. Now what is dacoity? So any robbery which is committed by 5 or more persons. So here one thing you need to remember, how many people are minimum required? How many minimum people are required for dacoity? It is 5, right? Next, a serious threat to public safety and order, right? A serious threat to public safety and order, right? Now, whenever a group of 5 or more people have committed robbery, this becomes dacoity, right? Now, what is the punishment? Minimum 10 years to life imprisonment plus fine. It is given under IPC, that is section 395, right? Got it? Now, you need to remember one thing: theft, robbery and dacoity. So theft comes first, then robbery, and then dacoity. This is the intensity or the gravity of the offenses, right? This is the intensity or the gravity of the offenses, simple to brutal, right? So the most brutal is of course dacoity, right? Is this clear? I hope this is clear to everyone. Now I have a question for you all. This is A along with 3 of his friends, B, C and D, goes to E's house to commit robbery, right? He goes to commit robbery. So what have these 4 people done here? These 4 people will be charged for if they are able to do this. What will they be charged for? They'll be charged for robbery. Now let's say there is another friend of theirs, that is E. He joins them, right? He joins them as the 5th person. Now what has it become? What has this group become? A group of dacoits. Why? Because they will be said to have committed dacoity, right? I hope this is clear to everyone. कोई doubt किसी को इसमें? नहीं. Okay, I have a question here for all of you. Highlighted the points here. I have a question for all of you. This is A and he along with 4 of his friends, B, C, D and E, right? B, C, D and E. He makes up a plan, right? Sorry, with 3 of his friends. A along with 3 of his friends of his friends, that is B, C and D, decides to break into E's house and collect all the valuables from there just to collect money for their new startup. अब A, B, C और D ने डिसाइड किया आपस में कि हम लोग E के घर जाएंगे because E is ultra rich, राइट? एंड उसके घर जाके जितने भी उसके पास वैल्यूएबल्स हैं, we'll steal those valuables, right? एंड उससे हम लोग पैसे इकट्ठा करेंगे, then we'll just form our own startup and we'll run a company of our own, right? ये इनकी प्लानिंग थी. When these guys were on their way and were sitting in an auto rickshaw, right? When they were sitting in an auto rickshaw, then the auto rickshaw driver, who was F, he heard their planning, right? इसने उनकी प्लानिंग सुन ली कि ये लोग किसी के घर जा रहे हैं, वहां से चोरी करेंगे, right? फिर ये सारा पैसा यहाँ यूज करेंगे. Now auto rickshaw driver, after dropping these 4 people to E's house, followed these 4 people inside the house, right, just to see कि कैसे चोरी करते हैं, right? He had no intentions to be a part of it, but he wanted to see कि चोरी कैसे होती है, right? Now, when he went inside, he also got caught in the CCTV camera along with these people, right? Now, my question is, A, B, C, and D, and E, have they committed dacoity? And will they all be charged for dacoity? Or A, B, C, and D will be charged for robbery, and F will not be charged for any offense. चलो ये बताओ मुझे. I want all of you to comment down in the comment section below, right? I'll provide you the answer for this question in the next video, right? I won't answer this question. The question is, ये 4 दोस्तों ने डिसाइड किया हम अपने 5th फ्रेंड के घर पे जाके चोरी करेंगे, राइट? वहां से सारे वैल्यूएबल्स लेके आएंगे बिकॉज वी नीड मनी फॉर आवर स्टार्टअप, एंड वापस आने के बाद हम लोग अपनी खुद की कंपनी बनाएंगे. When they were on their way to the 5th friend's house, the auto rickshaw driver heard their planning, and he, in order to see how a robbery is committed, क्योंकि उसने कभी अपनी लाइफ में रॉबरी होते हुए नहीं देखी थी, just out of curiousness, he went inside the house along with following these 5 people. Now the question here is that will these 5 people be charged for dacoity, or will these 4 people be charged for robbery along with the 5th one, that is the auto rickshaw driver, not being charged for anything? You have 2 options to decide. You have to write down in the comment section below, and I will provide you the answer along with the explanation in the next video, right? Now let's just move ahead. Next offense that we have is a breach of trust, right? Now what is a breach of trust? What is trust otherwise? आप trust किसको कर सकते हो? You decide कि आप trust किसको कर सकते हो. Think about it a bit कि who all can you trust? Trust see हम लोग उन लोगों को करते हैं जो लोग हमारे क्लोज होते हैं या फिर जिनके साथ हमारे कोर्डियल रिलेशनशिप्स होते हैं, राइट? कोर्डियल रिलेशनशिप्स या फिर जिनको हम ट्रस्ट कर सकते हैं. सो नाउ व्हाट इज ब्रीच ऑफ ट्रस्ट? ब्रीच ऑफ ट्रस्ट, these are crimes where the accused misuses trust, unlike the ones where the item was never given voluntarily, right? अब एक चीज समझो, थेफ्ट में कभी भी आपको चीज वॉलंटरली नहीं दी गई थी. वॉलंटरली का मतलब खुद की मर्जी से, आप किसी के कंसेंट के बिना उसकी प्रॉपर्टी मूव कर रहे थे. रॉबरी में भी आप सेम कर रहे थे, राइट? एक्सटॉर्शन में भी कंसेंट तो था नहीं, आप कंसेंट ऑब्टेन नहीं कर रहे थे, आप बस इंड्यूस कर रहे थे कि वो डिलीवर कर दे आपको प्रॉपर्टी. ये कुछ ऐसे ऑफेंसेस हैं जहां पे द प्रॉपर्टी इज इंटरेस्टेड इन यू. इंटरेस्टेड मतलब आपको खुद डिलीवर की जाती है विद कंसेंट, राइट? अब आपको खुद डिलीवर की गई प्रॉपर्टी है फिर भी आप उसे मिसयूज कर रहे हो, ऐसे कैसे? लेट्स जस्ट सी दैट. नाउ criminal misappropriation. The first one is criminal misappropriation, and it is defined under section 403 of IPC and 314 of BNS, right? So now using someone else's property for your own use without permission. Without permission को हम consent भी लिख सकते हैं, without consent, right? Important here is someone else's property for own use, right? Then यहाँ पे एक example दिया हुआ है, A finds a lost wallet and keeps it despite knowing the owner. हाँ, this you guys need to understand. So what will be the punishment here? Punishment will be 2 years plus fine. Now this is A. She finds a lost wallet on a bench. This is a bench and here there is a wallet kept. So A watches this wallet. As soon as she sees this wallet, she decides that I'll take out the money right? And I'll use all the money to buy pizza for myself. Today, I'll give myself a pizza treat out of the money that I'll get from this wallet. कि इस wallet से जो भी पैसा मिलेगा मैं अपने पिज्जा खरीदने के लिए यूज करूंगी, right? So as soon as she uses the money inside the wallet, right, she has committed what? She has committed criminal misappropriation, right? यहाँ पे याद रखो हमें नहीं पता कि ओनर कौन है, राइट? तो हमारा यहाँ पे क्या होना चाहिए था नेक्स्ट मूव कि हम उस वॉलेट का ओनर ढूंढे, अगर नहीं मिल रहा हो तो पुलिस स्टेशन में जाके सबमिट करें, राइट? वी कैन नॉट यूज somebody else's property, somebody else's money for our own use. That becomes criminal misappropriation. I hope this is clear. Now let's just move ahead. Next is criminal breach of trust. Now what do we mean by criminal breach of trust? Criminal breach of trust को define किया गया है section 405 of IPC and under section 316 of BNS, right? अभी हमने करा criminal misappropriation of property, अब हम कर रहे हैं criminal breach of trust. तो criminal breach of trust में क्या होता है? Property is entrusted. Entrusted का मतलब the owner has himself given the property to you. यहाँ given को delivered लिखो, delivered the property to you. But later dishonestly you misuse the property. I'll give you an example here. Let's say this is A. He has a coat, very pretty coat, right? He gives his coat to B, who's the dry cleaner, right? B, who's the dry cleaner. तो A ने खुद कोट दिया ना ड्राई क्लीनर को ड्राई क्लीन कराने के लिए. Now when A had to collect the coat from B after 2 days, right? After 2 days. Now after 1 day, A saw that B has worn his coat to a wedding. So what has B done here? He has committed criminal breach of trust. Why? Because A ने B को ट्रस्ट करके अपना कोट उसे ड्राई क्लीन करने को दिया, राइट? एंड B ने उसको ड्राई क्लीन करने की जगह उसको नेक्स्ट डे वेडिंग पे पहन लिया. So what has this become? This has become criminal breach of trust, right? I hope this is clear. I have another example here. Let's say this is A and this is B. A is an NRI and he lives abroad, right? He lives abroad. Now A has permitted B to take care of all his cars which are parked in his garage, right? And he has allowed B that आप मेरी कार्स को सिर्फ तब ड्राइव कर सकते हो जब आप इन्हें सर्विसिंग के लिए लेके जा रहे हो, right? Just because you are my relative, I allow you to take my car out only and only when you have to get them serviced, and I will pay for the service cost as well. Now, one fine day, A, while he was loading B's snaps on Snapchat, he saw B driving his car on a road trip, right? On a road trip. So what has B committed here? B has committed criminal breach of trust, right? Is this clear? For example, a cashier at a school uses school funds for personal shopping. So यहाँ पे personal shopping के लिए अगर school funds use करे हैं, what will it be? It will become criminal breach of trust. And what is the punishment for it? It is 3 years and 7 years if clerk, and life imprisonment if there is a banker or a trustee, right, who has committed this offense. I hope this is clear to everyone, right? I hope the entire concept of criminal breach of trust is clear to you. You can take a look at it. Right, now we'll move ahead and we'll discuss cheating. Now what is cheating? Cheating की definition I guess everybody knows already, right? What is cheating? सबसे पहले तो dishonest intention होता है, वो तो हमें पता है. Dishonest intention किस लिए होता है? To deceive someone, किसी से झूठ बोलना या किसी को कुछ गलत बताना. Let's just see, right? So now what is cheating? So section 415 of IPC under section 318 of BNS talks about cheating. So first thing first, deceiving. So one thing that you need to understand, that deception is the foremost essential element of cheating, right? Deception is foremost essential element of cheating, right? Now deceiving someone intentionally मतलब knowingly, आपको पता है आप किसी को deceive कर रहे हो, to gain property or induce an act, right? Got it? चलो इसको ध्यान से पढ़ते हैं. Now ये चीज समझो, deceiving to deliver property, inducement and harm to body, mind and reputation of a person, right? अब यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा example है, selling a fake iPhone claiming it as being original. So first thing first, what element is there? Deception is there. आपने उसे deceive करा कि ये तो असली iPhone है जबकि वो एक नकली iPhone था, right? Next, to deliver property, क्या property deliver कराई आपने यहाँ पे? Money, that is the cost for iPhone, right? और inducement क्या थी यहाँ पे? उसे lure करना ये बता के कि सर ये असली iPhone है बट मैं सस्ते में बेच रहा हूँ, right? This was the inducement. Inducement क्या होती है? किसी को इस हद तक मजबूर कर देना that the other person delivers the property to you, right? Now, अब इससे क्या हुआ? There should be a harm to the body, mind or reputation of the person, right? Or money also in that case, right? So in property also, right? So the person will feel depressed, right? He'll feel dejected by what has happened, right? So यहाँ पे harm to the body, mind, right? Property of the person, and this is why this is a clear case of cheating. I hope this is clear to you all, right? Now what is the punishment for cheating? Up to 3 years plus fine under section 417 of IPC, right? Is this clear to everyone? Do you have any doubts? If you have any doubts, please comment down in the comment section below. Next we come to forgery. What is forgery and what do we mean by forgery? Section 463 of IPC and section 336 of BNS. Now see, you need to understand one thing. CLAT, the paper of CLAT, it never demands you to learn any of these sections. आपको नहीं पढ़ने हैं, आपको नहीं याद रखने हैं, आपको सिर्फ essentials याद रखने होते हैं. That too essentials are written there in the paper, but if you already remember them, you need not even read the paper, right? Now, making a false document with the intention to deceive or cause loss to someone, right? So, for example, creating a fake mark sheet for college admissions, right? तो यहाँ पे आपने किसको डिसीव किया? कॉलेज को डिसीव किया. और लॉस किसका हुआ? उस कैंडिडेट का जिसको अदरवाइज एडमिशन मिल सकती थी, right? So this is why this is a clear case of forgery. So here there has to be false documents, right? There has to be false documents and there has to be a clear intent क्लियर इंटेंट मतलब मैलिफाइड इंटेंशन हो गया यहाँ पे, मेंसरिया हो गया। टू डिसीव, डिसीव मतलब बिलीव करवाना किसी को, ठीक है, झूठा बिलीव कराना किसी को। यहाँ पे आप किसको बिलीव करा रहे हो? यूनिवर्सिटी को, कि भाई मेरे डॉक्यूमेंट्स तो बिल्कुल क्लियर है, राइट। और आप किसको लॉस कॉज कर रहे हो? टू अनदर कैंडिडेट हु माइट हैव गॉट योर सीट, राइट। नाउ पनिशमेंट क्या है इसकी? अप टू 2 years or more in aggravated cases, right? I hope this is clear to everyone. Any doubts? Please have a look at it. All right. A few more concepts worth knowing. Let us see. Dishonest intention is known as mens rea or malified intentions, right? Dishonest intention, it is a mental element, right? Now, it is common across cheating, theft, right, and breach of trust, and it must exist at the time of the act. Very important कि dishonest intention आपका पहले होना चाहिए. I'll give you an example here. Let's say I have a friend, she has bought a new dress for herself, right? I believing that इसकी ड्रेस जल जाएगी अगर यहाँ पे आग लग गई, मैं चुपचाप उसको बाहर ले जाती हूँ जहाँ पे आग लगी होती है. Now after taking it outside, I decide, ओह ये ड्रेस तो अच्छी लग रही है, ये मैं पहन लेती हूँ, एंड उसको वापस कर दूंगी. So at the time when I moved the dress, what were my intentions? They were good. So have I committed any offense here? No, I haven't, right? I haven't committed theft here. I hope it is clear to you. So at the time of committing the act or at the time of doing the act, then the intention should be malified, right? Now, so now is it clear to you guys that what is the difference between theft, criminal breach of trust? So theft में there is no consent at all. आपका consent लिया ही नहीं जाता, permission ली ही नहीं जाती. To breach of trust में consent was already there. Right? Then property is misused in breach of trust, and in theft property is taken away. Then in theft जो property है वो जो act है वो sudden होता है, whereas in breach of trust it happens over a period of time or it may happen suddenly as well, right? So this is the main difference. Okay, so this is what you have to remember, and this is a case law for you guys which you have to answer, right? And we will be discussing it in the next class. Ravi gave his friend Mohit 1 lakh rupees to buy a laptop. Mohit took the money, bought the laptop and kept it for himself. He says, I'll return it when I feel like. Is this theft or breach of trust, cheating or something else? Now you have to think about it, take a screenshot of it, think about it and frame your answer. Taken? Right? Now which law will apply here? What facts are of importance? And what stage of crime is it? Please comment down in the comment section below. I will be discussing this question along with the one that I've asked within the video, right? That dacoity one, right? I'll discuss that too in the next class, right? So that is enough for today. Thank you guys for watching the video, and for all your doubts, comment section is there for you guys, and I'll definitely reach out to you all, right? So with this, I'll end the class. Thank you so much.